Hello everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. So in this one I'm playing with some Art by Marlene goodies. Art by Marlene's stuff is my new kind of obsession at the moment. I haven't fallen out of love with Dina Wakley, of course. I will still be using her things, but I'm just really inspired by all the colours and patterns and I don't know, just the images that Marlene uses. So this journal that I'm playing in is the white creative journal. There are two sizes. This is the larger size and there's a much smaller one. The cardstock in these journals is very smooth and a tiny bit shiny. So if you're wanting to use paint on, I would suggest that you add gesso before you start working on it, particularly if you're wanting to do a kind of reductive stenciling or ghosting techniques, anything like that. So I wanted to have a play with patterns and colours and shapes. So I've grabbed this piece of collage paper from Marlene's paper pad that you can see on the right there. I'm going to glue it in using Art by Marlene matte medium, gel medium. I'm sticking that straight onto my page. And my thinking here was that I'm going to take these images and pull them out onto my journal page. So this is a kind of like almost a mindful journaling session. I'm not creating a picture. I'm not using faces on this page. This is just playing with colours and shapes. So in a sense, it's a journal page where I can kind of switch off. So I'm taking my inspiration from the colours that are there, and what I'm going to do, as you can see, is just try and continue the pattern out onto the page. So matching the colours, I'm using Art by Marlene paints, and here I go, just starting to copy those shapes and patterns that are there already. So this is a really great way to create a journal page when you want to create but you don't really know what you want to do. This is a really good way to get working, and you don't really need to think a lot for this apart from maybe matching the colours. You don't really have to engage your brain a great deal. So it is a really good way if you're needing a little bit of wind down time. So I'm just looking at the parts of images that are left there already and just wondering how I can pull those out onto the page. And then I'm going to think about extending the other colours that are there and looking at the patterns and the way they work on the background and just pulling that out onto the rest of my journal page. So you can see that I've started to add some blocks of colour. There are blocks of colour in the background on this collage paper, so I kind of took my inspiration from that, and I'm just going to be extending those blocks out across the page as well as trying to sort of finish off the images that are there. You notice I've got some tape on my thumb, so I had a plaster on there because I stupidly cut my thumb on something, and the plaster wasn't very good, so that's what the tape's there for. It's not any like technical aid to holding my paintbrush, it's literally just because I'm clumsy and I cut myself. So yeah, looking at the colours, I'm going in with kind of, this is like a lilac-y colour now, and these are all Art by Marlene paints, so I didn't add any gesso to my page, and these paints will work perfectly well when it's not gessoed, but you might need to give them a couple of coats, because the substrate in this journal is very, very smooth, and it's quite nice to work on too. I might have been better gessoing my page before I stuck the piece of collage paper in, with hindsight now, looking and watching what I'm doing. So I was at the point where I thought, I really like this, but it just needs a little pop of colour. So this is like really pretty pink in Marlene's paints. I think it's called lipstick. Oh, I don't know, I'm going to have a look now. Kissy. It's not lipstick. That's probably why I'm thinking lipstick, isn't it? And just adding that pop of pink, I feel, just kind of finishes that off. So now I'm going in with a gel pen. This is a really fine line pen, and I am just outlining those shapes that I've added on. There are lines on Marlene's, but I kind of thought I would just add these in and then extend my lines onto the collage paper as well, so that I am adding to the details that are there, adding my own twist on it as well. So I'm using quite loose, sketchy lines. I'm not worried about being neat and tidy. Also trying to think about different marks that I can use. Yeah, just having fun. So when I'm working like this, I quite often have a podcast on, or I'm watching something like a drama or something. Well, I can say watching, kind of mostly listening. And I can kind of just switch my brain off. So then I've grabbed this stamp set from Marlene as well, and I've thought I'm going to put some mark making on this page. So I'm looking for stamps that have got small marks on, and I'm just repeating those on my page as well. So I think next I'm going to use one that's a little, yeah, like a little tiny flower. And you can see this is just going to kind of pull the page together and make it feel like it all belongs together. Then this is X, that's one of my favourites. I love that one. Then I'm going in with some of Marlene's paint pens and just adding some marks and colours on top of the paint. The paint pens work beautifully with the paints. The colours are very similar, and as you can see, they show up really, really nicely. And the fact that they're dual tip is fantastic, because like I've said before, if you're going on holiday, just need less pens in your bag. It's really good. So yeah, just going in, I'm using a lot of tone on tone colours here, so I'm just adding bits of pattern, but they're not too in your face. So now to just add a bit more contrast, I'm going in with a white pen and just adding some more marks and lines, flipping my book round so that I'm not smudging anything, because yeah, it can be a bit like that. I end up with half of my journal page on the side of my hand. And this is just adding even more interest to my page. And then of course for me, I can't have an art journal page without words on it somewhere. So I've grabbed Marlene's Golden Oldie quote book, and I'm going to find a quote in here that speaks to me. So what I often do is I have a theme in mind, and I will look through, and if another quote happens to jump out, then I will just use that one instead. So here I'm just having a little browse through to see, and then I'm deciding which colour it's going to work best on. And this one says colour outside the lines. Perfect, because yeah, just letting loose and switching your brain off is a great way to unwind and just have some time for yourself. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I have loads more videos to share using Marlene's products. So perhaps I'll see you again.